Namaste. I'm Nikita, and in this video, I'm going to take you through a series of breathing exercises. Breathing exercises are a fundamental part of any yoga practice, regardless of what the style is. The style that you've been learning through these videos is known as Hatha Yoga. I started learning Hatha Yoga when I was in my teenage years. I went along to a local class with my mum that was taught by a Swami who was wearing an orange robe. And in my very first yoga class, the Swamiji taught Pranayama. So I was introduced to it very early on. In fact, when I was a teenager, I used to have difficulty breathing with my nose, and I always had my mouth open every time I used to breathe, especially in the night, and this led to snoring. However, after I learned pranayama, I noticed that I was able to breathe through my nose and sleep without snoring. So I really advise everybody to practice pranayama. It regenerates the oxygen in the body, and it ensures that we have access to prana, which is the vital life force. By practicing pranayama on a daily basis, gives us a lot of energy and vitality. So let's start. We're going to start with our yogic breath, and this is done with our diaphragm. So if it helps, you can place both hands onto your abdomen to begin. Close your eyes if you're comfortable to do so. Otherwise, just look straight out in front of you. And when we do this yogic breathing, we want to think about our diaphragm expanding on the inhalation and contracting on the exhalation. So let's do it together. Breathe in. Expand your belly out. And breathe out, drawing it back in. Again, breathe in. Imagine you're filling up the air like a balloon. And exhale, breathe out. You're drawing it back in, deflating. We'll do this again. Breathe in. And breathe out. So notice that I'm breathing through my nose. So my mouth is closed throughout. And all you want to do is notice this abdomen going out on the inhalation and in on the exhalation. If you're breathing through your chest, which is quite common, try not to. Try to breathe through your diaphragm. This is really going to help you. Let's try again. If you feel comfortable with this technique, then you don't need to place your hands here. You can just place them on your lap or in front of you. So breathe in, expand. And breathe out, contract. So when you breathe out, you're letting all of the air go. So breathe in. Imagine you're filling up like a balloon. And breathe out, you're letting it go. Now what we're going to do is count the breath. So this is really important. This is known as box breathing. So you're going to breathe in for 4. And you're going to breathe out for 4. So this measures the duration of the breath. It's very important that your inhalation is the same length as the exhalation. So if you feel like it, you can have your hands here or in front of you. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Good. Notice when I breathe out, I'm really pulling my abdomen in. So you want all the air to come out. So often when people do this exercise, they really concentrate on the inhalation, but then they shorten the exhalation. We really want to make sure that we're purifying the air. And the way to do that is to make sure that it's the same length. We're now going to add a variation into this. So we're going to breathe in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Expand your belly out. And now we're going to hold it here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're retaining the breath, and then you pull it back in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you're breathing in for 4, then you're holding your breath for 4, then you're breathing out. Let's try that together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. And hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. And then to make it a box, as I said, it's called a box breath, you then hold it here for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the whole sequence of that is you breathe in for 4 counts, you hold it for 4 counts, you breathe out for 4, and then you hold it again for 4. So that makes a square box breathing. This is very good to do first thing in the morning. It's very good to start the day with this type of breath. It really sets you up for the day, and it also gives you more energy, as we said earlier. The next breathing technique I would like to introduce you to is known as Anulom Vilom. It's also called alternate nostril breathing. So you're going to use your 2 fingers. Your first finger and your middle finger is going to be placed over the center of your forehead. This is known as the third eye. Then you're going to use your right thumb over the right nostril and keep the ring finger in the air because we're going to use it soon. So both fingers are in the center of your forehead. Close your right nostril with your thumb. Then you're going to breathe in from the left only. So breathe in. Then close your left nostril with your ring finger and breathe out from the right this time. Then breathe in from the right. Close with the thumb. Breathe out from the left. So all you're doing is you're moving between your thumb and your ring finger. Make sure whichever nostril you breathe out of, you now breathe into the same one. Let's try again. Breathe in from the left. Then close the left with the ring finger. Breathe out from the right. Breathe in from the right. Close with the thumb this time. Breathe out from the left. One more time. Breathe in from the left. Close with the ring finger. Breathe out from the right. And release. Good. Just like we did earlier, we want the duration to be the same. So you want to breathe in from one side for a count of 4. Hold that side and then breathe out from the opposite side also for a count of 4. This is good to do for 3 to 5 minutes every day. The best time to do this is in the evening because it's very calming. It's very relaxing. This technique lowers your blood pressure and lowers your heart rate. So it gets you into a really relaxed state. It also activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is a really important thing to do at the end of the day. Most of us spend our day in the sympathetic nervous system, which is flight or fight mode. Whereas this technique takes us into that place of feeling very calm, very centered, and very zen, as they say. So it's a lovely technique to do. It's one of my favorites. In fact, I don't just do it in the evenings. I even do it during the day sometimes. The last technique that we're going to do together is known as Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati is also known as the breath of fire. This is a very energizing technique, and so I suggest doing this earlier on in the day, either in the morning or around midday. If you do it too late in the day, you might find that you feel a little bit hyper and you might not be able to sleep. You might be a bit restless, so it's important to do this quite early on. It's a good technique to do if you're feeling sluggish or a bit down, or if you've been unwell and you really want to lift your energy up again. So here we're going to place our hands onto our abdomen like we did earlier. And just like we did in the first technique, the box breath, we're going to breathe in inflating the air into the abdomen like a balloon. This time, we're going to breathe out in short, sharp breaths. We're going to throw the breath out through our nose and bring the belly in. So just watch the first time and then you can join in. So I'm going to breathe in, making a balloon, and then I'm going to breathe out and throw the breath. Okay. So did you notice that I was breathing in, inflating, and then I was throwing the air out of my nostrils, but I was bringing my belly in at the same time. So now let's do that together. So you really want to take in lots of air. Breathe in, breathe out. And breathe normally. Good. It's a good idea to close your eyes when you do this because it helps you to concentrate and go inwards. So don't forget, we're throwing the air out and we're pulling the belly in at the same time. Let's try again. One last time. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out and throw. And release. Good. Relax. Now with this technique, as I said, it's very energizing. It's known as a breath of fire. So you might feel a little bit lightheaded afterwards, or you might feel a little bit hyper. That's okay. It will soon settle. If it gets a bit too much, then you can do the alternate nostril breathing after this. If you're going to do them all together at the same time, then I suggest doing them in this order. The box breathing first, then the Kapalabhati, the breath of fire, and then Anulom Vilom, just to seal it all together. This was a very basic introduction, but of course pranayama needs to be practiced, ideally every day, but if you don't have time or you forget, maybe every other day or every few days. You can also go to it as and when you need to. I know one of my yoga students always does the alternate nostril breathing just before going into an important meeting, and that really helps them to relax. So we're just going to seal this energy that we've created together. Remember I said that pranayama is all about accessing prana, which is the vital life force. So I'd like you to breathe in, lift your arms above your head, and then breathe out, seal them together, bringing your hands into prayer position at the center of your chest. So we'll do this a few times together. So I'd like you to breathe in, lift your arms up. You can even look up if you prefer, and then breathe out, grounding yourself back into the center of your chest. Last time, breathe in to prepare, gathering all this energy from around you, and breathe out, drawing it back and down. You can keep your hands here for a few moments, perhaps say a prayer or recite a mantra or even an affirmation. Yoga is about making time for you, your body and your mind coming together through the union of yoga. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Feel free to come back to it at any time, and you can also refer to the other yoga videos in this series. And to finish, I'm going to bow my head with thanks, showing you gratitude for taking this time and space and honoring you, your higher self. Om Shanti. Om Shanti means, may peace be with you. Om Shanti.